There's a really bad shot of Alexa on this Evolution poster. I've just noticed it. She literally looks like she's got a crop of hair. Her hair doesn't even look long. I just thought I'd add that there because I was just randomly looking at that. There you go, there's a tangent. There will be tangents on this channel. Right, hello everyone, welcome to Nixie Boss, where we are going to do something I have not done in a long time, but I kind of have to do this, I think, because I'm female and because on Sunday it's WWE Evolution and I have blogged about WWE before. I have not done it in a while as mentioned, and also because I just feel like there's a lot to talk about it. Now I did record early about this when the news first broke. I kind of had a sense that it was coming, but I didn't end up releasing the videos. I think mainly because I left it too long and it just felt like, well, everyone's done it now anyway, so I might as well leave it. Everyone is obviously going to have their 2 cents and 2 pence about this, so I figured I may as well do it myself. So what I am going to do is revisit what I recorded back when they announced this. I think I probably did this in July, August, and we're going to see what my concerns were back then with regards to how I felt things were going to go. And I've not watched this yet, so I'm going to try and address as many things as I can from memory on what my fresh concerns are going into Sunday. Now, the initial thing of this is great. It's been a long time coming. Can a women's pay-per-view hold the crowd's attention? That is the biggest question for me. As a fan, as a woman, but also as someone who has watched it over the years and knows how far the women's division has come. And that's where I'm worried that this women's pay-per-view is going to be falling down, because you can't have friendly on friendly on friendly. There's got to be build-up, there's got to be rivalry, there's got to be something that's making the viewer get excited about the show. That's going to get people excited about the match, the show, everything in it. Because alright, I think anyone's going to want to see Trish and Lita again, but is it just going to be a fist bump, a friendly, and then a hug at the end? You can't have all matches like. If you're just going to stick a load of friendlies in there, people aren't going to have the interest. You've got to build the women's title matches fabulously. Like, if you're going to do it, you've got to make sure that whoever's champion at the time, and please God don't let it be Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. Like, Charlotte's come back and immediately she's in the Becky Lynch match, and that hasn't gone down well. Can they hold the attention of the fans? As long as they build it well, as long as they build rivalries, and as long as they get us involved and don't just spring it on us in a 2-week period, yes. But they've got to make sure that the fan base is 100% interested and invested in the event. So I know some of my concern related to, are they going to build it properly? And the answer to that, sitting here now in October, is no, they have not built it properly. I don't think anybody can dispute that. The biggest build we've had going from July until now has been Trish Stratus versus Alexa Bliss, which has been replaced as Alexa and Mickey versus Trish and Lita, which may well not be Alexa and Mickey. It may be Mickey and Alicia, because there were 2 rumours that come out of last weekend, which was that Ronda Rousey #1 broke Alexa Bliss's nose. There has been no photos to prove this, and she was not on Raw, so we do not know this. The other one coming out of the weekend was that allegedly Ronda Rousey gave her a concussion, and she's waiting to be medically cleared, but her future for Sunday is looking uncertain, hence why she might be replaced with Alicia Fox. I don't really want her to be replaced with Alicia Fox, just my call there, but obviously they're doing this whole 3-way thing with the 3 of them, and they're kind of like a little stable right now, so they're kind of having to. That has been the biggest build coming out of, or coming into this pay-per-view. The second biggest one we have is obviously Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. I am pro Becky Lynch all the way going into this. Should be noted, this is not the first WWE Iron Woman match in WWE. I think everyone booed Charlotte when she won the title. I was sitting there going, this is rubbish. Actually, I said a few cuss words, but I'm not going to say that on this video. Their feud has just intensified. Becky Lynch is just on a whole other level of awesomeness as the heel in the situation. But the thing is, we're all inclined to cheer her, which doesn't go round well with WWE. That is, wow, okay. WWE are having issues with the fact that the crowd is supporting Becky Lynch in favour of Charlotte, which is obviously not the way the situation is meant to be going down. I think if they strip the title from her on Sunday, it will be a fool's choice, and Charlotte Flair will get booed out of the bloody arena, quite frankly. There was an alleged thing come out of this weekend that since Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella was announced, no, I am not a Bella Twins fan. Don't come on this channel thinking I'm going to talk nice about the Bella Twins, because I just won't. Let's not remind ourselves of the suicide dives, okay? Allegedly, since that match was announced, ticket sales have soared. Okay. Most of us are just looking to see Nikki Bella get squashed by Ronda Rousey. When they announced that that was the match going into Evolution, or the rumours started coming, I just went, for crying out loud. Again, I get annoyed because it's almost like the Brock Lesnar situation. You know, he comes in, he's a part-timer, and, you know, suddenly he's getting all these opportunities. It's the same with them. They haven't been around for a while, and suddenly, oh, we're going to be at the top of the game. Well, there's several other women more deserving. And I don't think that they should be in that title picture for Evolution. I also get annoyed with the fact that, all right, they're saying it in kayfabe, but they are also saying it outside of the ring. They feel they're pioneers of the Evolution. Your role in the women's revolution as a whole was actually trying to keep it in the Divas division. Let's rewind back to the Revolution period, where for me, the person who started it off with AJ Lee was AJ Lee, and we're going to talk about that later. It started off with two separate kind of entities, really. Number one was AJ Lee and the Pipe Bombshell. The other one was realistically NXT. The women there coming out of that going, we're way better than what's on that main roster. That was the two separate pioneers for me, was that. Their side of it, they were the bad side of it, they were the heel side of it, who wanted the Revolution to go away because they were quite happy with Beaverdom, which no one in the fan base was. And to say that they were pioneers of it when they weren't, I kind of find that, you know, even if it's kayfabe, you know, we've broken more barriers and more doors than you have. You haven't. I'm siding with Ronda Rousey's remarks on that one. The other thing that has been built that I haven't had a lot of watch time of, which is really bad, is the Mae Young Classic. We have the final of that. I don't want to, is it Io Shirai? I don't want to say it wrong, versus Toni Storm. I know Toni Storm from the indie circuit, so I'm immediately biased to go, yes, Toni Storm. That obviously has come to a head, and if you've had the build up to that, then that is for you. I go into this much like I always go into NXT live event. I go in with a blind eye, so I know very little. The other one that I'm looking forward to, because I've seen quite a few of these competitors on the UK scene, there is an NXT UK Championship, which is Rhea Ripley versus TBD. If it was going to come up and it was going to be Nixon Newell, aka Tegan Knox, great, but obviously she did get injured in the Mae Young Classic, so unfortunately she won't be able to compete, which breaks my heart for her because I love the bones of that lady. Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship, the US Women's Championship. Should be great. Again, I go into it with completely blank eyes. Shayna is a lot like Ronda from what I know, the difference being that Ronda went straight to the main roster and Shayna has gone straight to NXT. Fine, because I know Shayna's killing it down there, and I think there's a side of everyone that just wants a Shayna-Ronda match, probably at WrestleMania. I'd be up for that. Kairi Sane obviously came out of the Mae Young Classic last year. As far as I know, she's doing great. If that has been built on NXT again, I'm not a regular NXT watcher, and I should be, so I'm not that knowledgeable of that. Recently added as well, you had a 6-women tag match, which again, it's had no build. You know, I was sitting there last weekend going, you know, what are Sasha Banks and Bayley doing? What is Sasha Banks doing? What's Bayley doing? And they're all the Riot Squad, and they've thrown them all in a 6-woman tag, which again, unfortunately, it's not going to draw the crowd because there's no build. They've had no excitement about it. I know Sasha's had a month off, which is fine. She's worked hard for like the last 2.5, 3 years. Let the woman have a month off, fine by me. But unfortunately, it impacts now. It's not her fault, but the company hasn't built it. You know, I don't know why. There's been, you know, Ronda was with Natalya, and now Natalya's been kind of axed in favour of the Bellas and thrown into this equation, and she's kind of been not used. And that's sad, because you're then putting precedence on a team who've not even been in the company for the last, what, year? And, you know, to me, the women's division has been better without the Bella Twins. You know, they're being thrown into it. That is fundamentally wrong. But there's no, I love the Riot Squad. I know how awesome Ruby Riot is. I've seen her as Heidi Lovelace. Real shame it's not been built better. The Riot Squad constantly used as jobbers. They should be this unbeaten team. I mean, come on, Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riot. Wouldn't we all love to see that if it was built well? I would. It's my two greatest issues when I was talking about this back in July, August, was the build and would it have the draw? Would it keep the fans' attentions? Both of them go hand in hand. If you've built the matches well, it's going to have draw. So I think, personally for me looking at this, your top 2 matches, or for me, would be Charlotte Lynch, Christ alive, Nix, Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. I'm looking forward to that one because I know they're going to be awesome. And I think the two of them are going to want to put on a spectacle. They're going to want to annihilate each other, which, great. That's what everyone wants to see. I want them to literally, I'd love to see them go backstage. I'd love to see them do some great danger spots. And I think that both of them are going to want to push the limits with that. So I think that's got potential to kill it. If you're an NXT fan, I would say definitely Kari Sane, Shayna Baszler is going to be on your agenda to want to see. I am, because I like to see what's coming up to the main roster. And yes, as I said, I need to watch more NXT. As much as I'm looking forward to seeing Trish and Lita, the match doesn't really do much for me. My ideal would have been Trish versus Mickey, taking it on back to that 2006 to that 2005 and 6 feud, because that was pretty kick-ass. I'd love to have seen like a little bit of a revival of that, and both women are that bit older now, and they still look absolutely amazing. They're still great competitors. So that would have been my draw. Lita, I wonder what they could have done with Lita. People are actually moaning about Lita, but I always loved Lita, so I'm not really saying much. Considering the fact that they said past, present and future, the only two past women that are actually, I'm going to say, having a match are Lita and Trish. You do have this big massive women's battle royal, but that just feels like filler for those who aren't really getting a look in on the main card. Asuka, why aren't they using Asuka better? That seems like such a waste. You know, Asuka as who she is, Christ alive, why aren't they pushing her more? Where's her position here? Alright, we've got Ivory and Alundra Blaze coming back. That's awesome. Tori Wilson doesn't really do much for me. Michelle McCall, again, Molly Holly, great one. Looking forward to that. Let's see what she's like still. Maria Kanellis, you know, I don't want to sit here and name every member of the Battle Royal. That is just your filler, and I can possibly see that going into the pre-show. Nothing has been announced as the pre-show at this stage. It's either that or it's going to be the three-way women's match. And will it have crowd draw? That's what concerns me. Is it going to capture the fans' attentions? I'm still on the fence about that. I'm going to sit up and watch it, and the great thing is, if you are in the UK, bear in mind it will start early for us because our clocks go back this week, but America's don't. So remember, if you're watching it, don't expect the show to start at 12, expect it to start at 11, and be there for that. And great, we get an extra hour in bed for that, so that makes me thrilled, because it was the one thing that came out of the Australia show. American fans finally understood what we all go through every single show. It's hard to say that Evolution is groundbreaking when you've got things like Glow and Shimmer that have come out of it and have done all women's shows for a very, very long time. It's groundbreaking for the WWE to know how far it's come and how much more women are seen as being competitors and not just divas. I hate going into this saying I don't have high hopes for the show, but unfortunately I don't. My draw is Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, and I'm hoping I'm proved wrong and that someone does completely outshine the show, but I just think it's going to be the two of them. AJ Lee, I just wanted to, let's throw AJ Lee in quickly. There were rumours that she was going to be on the card. As of right now, unless they are managing to keep this the greatest secret in the world, she's nowhere on the card, which disappoints me so much. I feel like she should really be there. It was alleged that apparently Vince had reached out. Apparently that was false. I don't want to say she owes it to the fans to go. There's a side of me that says, does she owe it to herself to go? Whether she's been approached or not, or whether there's still a bit of a cloud of dark smoke over the whole situation, I don't really know. If she turns up, you will see my Twitter explode in excitement. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. Paige as well. I feel like Paige should have had a better role in this pay-per-view. I think she should have been the host, the general manager of the show. I think there should have been more involvement of her, because obviously if she was active and was able to be active, I would like to think that her position in the show would have been entirely different. But let me know what you're thinking going into Evolution, what you're looking forward to. Leave your comments down below. Remember, I'll be active on Twitter throughout the night. My Twitter is always in the description box down below. Like, comment, share and subscribe. I'd love to know what you think, and I will either see you guys on Twitter or in the comments. Bye.